I'm Michael Fisher, craft beer enthusiast and industry professional. I'm on a journey to find some people whose professions or hobbies revolve around the fermentation of malt and hops. We're going to dive into their passions and share some conversations over their favorite brews. So join me as I bring the brew to you. On this episode, I'm here with Jen Bryte, fellow craft beer colleague. So Jen, start at the beginning and tell me what gave you the affinity for craft beer?
Well, I want to say thanks for having me today, Mike. And I guess I didn't start off drinking craft beer. The first beer that I asked for when I turned 21 was MGD.
I totally understand. We had a keg of Michelob Ultra at my 21st birthday. It was all the rage at the time.
So when I first started in the industry, craft beer was a brand new concept. The distributor that I started to work with, we didn't really have a craft portfolio.
So you started on the distributor level?
I did, yes. So I started when I was 21. I was actually still in college, and I make a funny where I was popular for like one semester of college because I got to drive my Miller Lite van to school.
Nice.
So yeah, so I had friends.
Yeah, no problem getting friends, right?
Yeah. But the first beer that I brought today, I did start drinking when I was in college. I'm sure you've had the Lindemans Framboise.
Absolutely.
You want to open it?
Yeah, let's give it a whirl. So why is Lindemans Framboise the first beer you brought for us today?
The beers that I chose today, I thought that they should, be important to me. And I would say it's probably my first craft beer.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
No, you're fine, go.
And it's funny because beers like this spoiled the craft consumer to lambic style beer because it's much sweeter than most other lambics.
Correct. So I guess before I knew about beer, I wouldn't even consider this a beer. But now that I know beer, I think this was definitely the first craft beer that I enjoyed.
Fun factoid, or secret time, which I'm sure you know, it makes a remarkable float. Put a scoop of vanilla ice cream in this beer.
Okay. So I've mixed it with like chocolate stouts.
Oh, for sure. Like a chocolate covered raspberry kind of thing?
Yes.
So over the years, tell me how your flavor profile or your taste for craft beer or beer in general has changed.
When you first start off in craft, of course, you do the lighter beers, maybe started off with like a red or an amber or something pretty simple. But the more that my palate changes, I guess I hate a weak beer. Like sometimes you just drink a lot of like flavorful things, so maybe like my palate is adjusted.
It's like eating spicy food.
True.
So what do we have here?
So this is my second pick, High Life from Cigar City Brewing Company.
One of the highlights of the Florida craft beer scene.
It is, and I guess that's why I chose this beer. I grew up in Ohio and I moved to Florida for 9 years. So on the Gulf Coast of Florida, this is one of our biggest brands.
Well, let's drink it.
Yeah, for sure. Let's open this guy up.
I gotta say, it's great to see beer that's been finished and bright, that has been filtered out. I saw a picture on social media the other day, and I thought it actually was a New England style IPA, and as I read the caption, I found out it was a mimosa. But that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, this is what you want to be drinking on the beach or on a boat, or man, it's just a good beer.
So I'm really excited about the third beer that you brought. It's one I've never had before, but I've heard a lot of good things about the brewery.
So this past year, I was fortunate enough to go to the Great American Beer Fest, and I tasted some beers from Oddside Ales. I've seen them in the market, never had purchased any, and fell in love with their taste. So I drove to Detroit last week, picked up some of this Nut Bandit,
You drove to Michigan to get the beer for this?
but it's delicious. It is a Imperial Brown brewed with hazelnut.
Feel free to open it and pour it up. Oh man,
I know.
the hazelnut is crazy.
Yeah, for the holidays and for like the winter months, this is just a great beer. It's cozy, it's warm.
You definitely get the boozy character, but very drinkable, dangerously drinkable.
So since I was in Michigan and they had tons of beers to choose from, I picked up some others and I did bring an extra. I don't know if you want to try it today.
Are you kidding? Try another beer?
Okay. So this is it's called Imperial Mayan. It's an Imperial Stout and they brew it with coffee, cinnamon, nutmeg, and habaneros.
Oh wow. Can I ask you a beer geek question?
Okay.
So there's three, like, they're not acronyms, I suppose, but you're familiar with ABV,
Okay, yeah.
alcohol by volume. You're familiar with IBU,
Yes.
but SRM, you know what that is? It's the color scale in beer. So it goes from 0 to 40. 0 being water, clear, and then 40 being easiest to mention, Guinness, black. This is 40 all day.
I just think they do a really good job with their flavors. You can taste everything that they put on the bottle, you know.
It's sassy.
Yeah, it'll get you, that's for sure.
So I think we're staying along the dark theme, at least for one more beer. So tell me a bit about the next beer, and maybe more importantly, why you chose this one.
So I did bring this one because I work for Lexington Brewing Company now. I've been there for about 2 years. Love my job. I take care of Columbus to Cleveland, Ohio. I'm a sales rep for them. So I decided that this is my favorite beer. Our coffee stout, which is a barrel-aged product. That's our whole shtick at Kentucky Ales, is that we are known for our barrel aging process. It's a really good beer, and I'm glad that I can share it with you.
So now, adversely, the previous beer, if you want to get down to color, this would be like a 38 on the SRM scale. I feel like such a beer nerd when I get to say that and mean it.
We brewed this with a Haitian coffee. If you remember, there was a devastating earthquake that hit Haiti.
Yeah.
So the company went down, purchased a free trade coffee plantation, and that's where they get the coffee to brew this beer from.
Your company went down and purchased a coffee plantation.
Correct. And that plantation does support 2 local schools, which is super cool.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to finish this.
I know, it's a good beer.
It was really good. I mean, it was a little too drinkable. So that was great. The 5 beers that you brought out, I enjoyed them all, and they were all unique and different. On each episode, I like to propose my guest with a unique scenario, and what's the one beer in which they'd bring to that scenario. So for you, it was Desert Island. What's your Desert Island beer? You get one beer for the rest of your life. What's it gonna be?
So I went with Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. I just love this beer. Like, I could drink it every day and not get sick of it.
Plenty of flavor, but darn drinkable. It's something that you could drink every day on a desert island. It's crystal clear and as finished as it gets. It's been around a long time. I mean, Sierra Nevada is definitely one of the pioneer breweries in our industry. That gives all of some of the smaller breweries, but larger breweries, some hope to the future. Well, that's fantastic. I just want to thank you, Jen Bryte, for coming out. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And I want to thank the Oak Barrel in Cleveland, Ohio for hosting our event and letting us film here. And we'll catch you on the next round of Brew To You. Cheers.